Hello, beautiful family. Good day and welcome again to One Global Movement, where we speak from the heart to support our children, young people, and women worldwide with a focus on young women. Thank you guys so much for taking the time, the energy, and the determination to say, I will be one of those that support this population in the world. Why this population? For the various reasons that we know, and it's so important that we support them. Because if you've been given life, if you've been given breath today, you want to use it for a good purpose. You want to use it, and that's why we are here. Thank you guys so much, and let's continue to do what we are doing because every morning refreshes our mind and give us another new day to do new things and keep climbing higher and higher. So today's Wednesday, a winning Wednesday. We are in One Global Movement Revolution, part 371. Whole and heard. Navigating identity, belonging, and gender with compassion. These are very, very interesting topic, and thank you so much, sister, for really coming out with these great topics. And we want to keep thanking our CEO as always, because I or we should never have to bite the finger that fed us. And feeding doesn't just mean putting food in somebody's mouth, because what we are doing here is feeding. We are feeding people in different ways, metaphorically. So the theme again is whole and heard, navigating identity, belonging, and gender with compassion. And the focus here is especially relevant to war zones or unstable regions, offers dignity-centered tools for identity affirmation. And then other things that concern this population. And so before we do, we know our culture here, which is a culture from the Creator. And however you want, let us bow down our heads and thank the Almighty God. And we're going to do so using the scriptures because we've been commanded to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. So speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and helpless and see that they get justice. And this is in Proverbs 31, 8 to 9. So, Heavenly Father, we come before you today as one global movement, a family bound not by borders, but by love, vision, and the cry for justice. Lord, your word reminds all of us to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. And so we lift up the voices of women, children, and young people whose cries often go unheard. Father, we stand in faith for the eradication of hunger, for we believe that no child should go to bed with an empty stomach, and no mother should watch her child suffer without food. We ask you to break the chains of poverty, shatter the walls of illiteracy, Lord, and ignite the wisdom of generational wealth that sustains families for generations to come. Because you promised that a good man will leave an inheritance to her children, his children's children, up to the fourth generation. We pray for the spirit of leadership and purpose to rise in every child, every young woman, and every young man. May they walk boldly in the gifts you have placed within them, knowing, Lord, that they are not defined by their circumstances, but by your calling on their lives. Lord, we call forth world leaders, visionaries, ministers, businesses, volunteers, and all other organizations. Stir in them a holy urgency to act with compassion, justice, and courage. May they prioritize peace over conflict, safety over chaos, and security over exploitation. Let their policies and decisions protect and uplift the most vulnerable, especially our young women who carry the seeds of nations within them. We declare here today that communities will be restored, hope will be rekindled, and healing will flow like a river where despair once lived. May one global movement be a vessel of light, carrying the message that true prosperity is not just in wealth, but in wisdom, justice, and shared humanity. Teach us to lead with humility, Lord, to serve with love, and to live with divine purpose. Let the nations see that when we invest in women, children, and young people, we are sowing seeds for a future filled with peace, abundance, and unity. We seal this prayer with faith, love, and focus, knowing that you who began a good work in us, Lord, will bring it to completion. This we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sister. Yes.
All right, let's take the stage. It's your turn.
Thank you. All right. So, this is Wednesday, everyone, and we are going to say what One Global Movement is all about, why we do what we do. So, of course, I start by reading the vision and mission statement of One Global Movement, which we sometimes shorten to OGM. One Global Movement will support any organization, any group or individual that aligns with its own global vision. That's our global vision and mission, which is as follows. So, the mission of One Global Movement is to empower our young people, our children, and women worldwide with a focus on young women, providing them with the tools and the sustainable solutions that will help them to eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. We believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. Through global collaborative efforts, innovative programs, and community engagement programs, we strive to break the cycle of hunger, illiteracy, poverty, and to build a future where every child can build on their hopes and dreams while reaching their full potential. Together, through divine intervention, love, and clean, safe, and valuable technology, we can create such a world. A world where no child goes to bed hungry, no child is denied an education, and no child is limited to poverty or to any condition that is not of their own making. It is possible. Our gratitude then goes to our CEO for bringing this world family together for the purpose of providing solutions to all sectors of the global economy, beginning with our children. We thank him and his well chosen building team. We love you all and wish you eventual success. And that is the vision and mission of One Global Movement. And now we go to this wonderful topic. They're all wonderful, but
Always
another
wonderful.
one. This is so you're approaching it from, I guess, the global, more global.
Uh-huh.
I heard you mention war, and I didn't touch that at all because we're tired of hearing about
That's
that.
okay. You can't even touch everything. They are big topics.
They are. So, yeah. So I just brought it back down to the one on one level mostly. Okay. Every one of us carries a deep human longing, which is the desire to be seen and heard, to be valued. But let me ask you this. Have you ever said something in a group and it felt like no one noticed? Maybe you shared an idea in a meeting and it got ignored until someone else repeated it and suddenly they got the acclaim, they got the credit. Or maybe you opened up about how you're feeling and the silence that followed told you more than words ever could. I remember my last session, sister, I mentioned the 17-year-old who said no adult had ever given them that kind of attention. It's still
Yeah.
plays in my mind.
Hmm.
That sting, the sting of being unseen, unheard, and unvalued is something many, many are carrying every single day, especially around identity, belonging, and gender. Belonging is not a luxury, it is the oxygen for our soul. And when people are silenced or dismissed or overlooked, we are not just denying them dignity, we are denying ourselves the richness of a whole humanity. Today, I want to invite us into a conversation about compassion, because compassion is the bridge between identity, belonging, and gender.
Mhm.
So the first part is heard, and I used an acronym to frame it. It's to create spaces where people are truly seen. We must ensure that they feel heard. And the H in the word heard, honor each person's story. No story is too small or too messy or too different to matter. There are 8 billion of us on the earth as far as the counting goes. Nobody's story is less than. When we honor someone's story, we affirm their worth. And the E in heard is to embrace diversity with empathy. Diversity is more than a buzzword, it's the beating heart of humanity. Empathy allows us to see beyond difference into shared experience. And then the A in heard is affirm identity and worth. Each person has the right to define who they are without fear or shame. Affirmation is not an agreement, it is an acknowledgement. Nobody's asking for permission. You just affirm who the person is. And then the R is to respect differences, build bridges. Respect doesn't erase disagreement, right? It creates room for dialogue without diminishing dignity. And the D in that word is to dare to show compassion in action. Compassion is not passive, it dares to step in, to speak up, and to stand with those who need it most. When people feel heard, they begin to heal. But being heard is only the beginning, though. What we ultimately long for is not just to have our voices acknowledged, but to feel whole. Identity, belonging, and gender are not check boxes to be ticked. They are dimensions of human wholeness. And when compassion leads the way, we move from fragmentation to fullness. So then the word whole, here is the vision to help every person feel whole. Whole, W, welcome without judgment. Acceptance is the doorway to belonging, and judgment slams that door shut. H, hold space for voices and journeys. Everybody's story again. Holding space means listening without trying to fix. Sometimes that's not what the person wants, they just want to be heard. So we hold those spaces for just listening without trying to fix, to correct, or to silence. It is presence without pretense. And the O is to open hearts and minds. When hearts are open, fear shrinks. When minds are open, possibilities expand. And the L is listen deeply, beyond labels. Labels can describe, but they should never confine. Deep listening goes beneath the surface to the soul. And the E, empower authentic expression. Wholeness thrives when people are free to live their truth out loud without apology. And here are some affirmations. You say, I honor stories, I embrace diversity, I affirm identity, I respect differences, and I dare to show a compassion. I dare to show compassion. I welcome without judgment. I hold space, I open my heart, I listen deeply, and empower authentic expression. I choose to see others as whole because that is how humanity heals. And then I have this little bit of prose here that I just thought of. When we speak of whole and heard life, it's easy to picture a state of perfect peace, of unblemished serenity, but so often the journey to wholeness passes through the valley of brokenness, doesn't it? The
Yep.
scriptures tell us that God is near to the brokenhearted and that he saves those who are crushed in spirit. It is a profound and comforting truth, and the idea of a divine presence meeting us in our most vulnerable, fragmented moments, that is true. But what if that divine nearness isn't a passive force? What if it's an invitation for us human beings to become the answer to that promise? We are created in His image, gifted with hands that can reach out, with ears that can listen, and with voices that can affirm. So I believe our duty to each other, our sacred calling, is to be those hands for the one who is hurting, to navigate the complexities of identity, belonging, and gender with compassion means to step into the brokenness of another and become a vessel for grace. It means seeing a person not as a label or a problem to be solved, but a soul to be cherished. It is in the quiet act of listening, of hearing someone's story without judgment, that we become a living embodiment of that ancient promise. When we offer a safe space for someone to be who they truly are, to be whole and heard, we are doing more than just a good deed. We are participating in a divine work, extending a hand to heal and a heart to hold.
Wow. Thank you so much. Extending a heart to heal and a hand to hold. I so
Yes.
love it when you say everybody's story needs to be heard. Every child story needs to be heard regardless of what it is. No matter if the story is messy, it is well
Yep.
written, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. Things happen for a reason. And
Amen.
this is why we always say we meet these children, these women, and these young people where they are without being judgmental. You meet them where they are because they are where they are because of a reason. You are where you are because
Same thing.
of a reason. It's the same
Same thing.
thing. And
Same thing.
therefore, if we really have this at the back of our mind, we would not be having a, a conflict or verbal fight with people for no reason. And it is something that we have to constantly remind ourselves,
Yes.
you know
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
before a word comes out. Now I have learned to stop and then think before I say things. When you learn this repeatedly, before you know, it becomes part and parcel of you. It's
Yes,
going
it
to be
does.
hard for you to even pen down a word that
Yeah.
does not carry compassion, love, and empathy. So I find
Mm-hmm.
that me, because I had to learn it.
Yes, we
Otherwise
do.
I would have become an embittered person,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
things are going to happen. Some of the things that happen in the world, let us take them as expectations. They happen
Mm-hmm.
to Christ, who is so pure. What about
He
you
was
and I that we have a lot
here.
of things? And
Exactly.
so let us help these children, these young people, tell their stories. Let us instill in them that confidence that they have lost in us, the parents,
Yes.
caregivers.
Yes.
This is very,
Yes.
very important. Whatever we say and do here, the foundation starts from there. How
It
can
does.
a child trust you? A child that has been so berated with a lot of situations and challenges, how can that child learn to trust you? A child that has not been paid attention to, a child that might have lost the parents, a child that the parents might have divorced, or one thing or the other. How can they get trust in us? By paying attention, a listening ear to what they are saying, really sitting calm. Because I know that we are living in a world where it's a click and go instead of brick and mortar. Brick and
Yes.
mortar helps us to have patience, compassion,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
empathy for one another by listening. If you don't listen, how then are you going to help?
You
There's no
can't.
way. So it's good to listen. Sometimes I might be good today, tomorrow I might not be good. Why? There has to be reasons. And therefore, when we have this at the back of our minds, then we will know that, oh, this person has always been a very good person, but something changed. What changed? What can I do
Yes.
to find out what changed and how can I help? Is what we should be doing. So whole and heard. I love this the way that you coin these topics. Navigating identity, belonging, and gender with compassion.
Yes.
Compassion. We all
Compassion.
have been given compassion in one way or the other. Compassion
Yes.
from our parents, compassion from our aunties and uncles, compassion from friends. So we are grounded in the vision and mission of One Global Movement to uplift children, young people, and women by defeating hunger, illiteracy, and poverty and injustice while building a world rooted in compassion, equality, and opportunity. And so every generation faces a defining question. For our generation, if I say ours, mostly the Gen Zs that we'll be talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is this: who am I? They're always questioning, who am I, and where do I belong? The question of belonging is so ingrained in their minds that they want to belong. Is it belonging to the social media? Is it belonging, feeling that belonging, that your parents truly love you? Is it belonging in the school club, or you want to belong to a group because they don't want you, they exclude you because of one thing or the other? It's a lot of things here, but we treat it as a unique situation pertaining to the unique individual, not just lumping everything all at one, because
Yeah.
not one size fits everyone here.
No.
So it is so important. And and in a world where the identities are so challenged, belonging is conditional.
Yes. Yes.
Their
Yes.
identities are so challenged, belonging is conditional. And this, they are challenged because it starts from home, like we always say. No matter the conflict that we see on the world stage, these things start from home. They start from home. How do we bring up our children? How? And it's a constant learning because we don't know all the answers. And because the world is changing, the world is evolving, things are changing, and we are growing, children are growing. We have to adapt to how they are
Yes. Oh
evolving
yes.
in the
Oh
world.
yes.
And
Oh
so,
yes.
belonging is conditional, and gender is often misunderstood. Gender is often misunderstood. So one global movement rises with a message of hope and compassion. At OGM, we believe humanity is not, humanity is not whole until every child,
Yes.
every woman and young person can stand tall and say, I am whole,
Mm-hmm.
and I am heard, and I belong. They have to feel that they're not just talking because somebody pushes them to say it. No, they have to feel it. They have to really feel it because they have to live it. And they're living it in collaboration with us, parents, caregivers, and adults and institutions. So, what is the challenge then? How does identity, belonging, and gender in a divided world get restored in our young minds? Especially in I picked the war-torn zone, and I'm glad that you treated it from that aspect. That's why discussing these things together is very important. We bring all the aspects from how
Yes.
we understand it. So in war-torn zones and unsteady regions is even your home. Some of the
Yeah.
homes are broken. It's very unsteady because it starts from the home. It's
Yes.
very
Yes.
unsteady. Esther is here. Let me see if
Oh
Esther.
wow! Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I better hurry up and then we
Hello,
drop everything on her.
hello, my people.
Hello, welcome.
Hello. So good to
Nice to
see
see
you.
you.
How are we all? How are we?
Keeping
How
well.
are
And
you?
you are so clear. Very nice. Thank you
I
so
have
much.
been struggling and struggling and struggling. I'm so happy that I'm able
Yeah,
to get in again.
We are happy.
I'm
We are
still on
really
the way
happy.
going home. I'm still on the way going home from work.
Okay, no
okay. Well,
problem.
drive
Thank
safely.
you so much. Drive safely. Focus on the driving, okay?
I'm not the one driving. Someone is
Oh,
Oh,
driving
good.
me.
oh, wow.
Okay, good.
You have
Even
a driver.
better.
I wish I can have a driver too.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. Let me get done quickly
That's
so
what it
that
is now. How is everyone? My beloved sister Yvonne, how are
Hello.
you? How are you?
I am
so
well. I'm glad to see
you
you.
all
I
have
miss you. I have missed you all. I have missed you all.
you all had the baobab tree because she's been so just doing everything just like me.
What did he say?
You all had the baobab tree because she's been doing a lot.
Bob tree.
Oh, there's so much noise around the background because I'm on the road. I'm not hearing clearly.
That's
Okay,
okay.
all
Okay,
right.
let us just continue and we'll talk, but we are happy to have you
Yeah,
here.
please continue, okay? In case
Okay.
this
Okay.
locks me off, I'm so
All
happy I
right.
can get in now.
We're happy
You
too.
take care of.
Okay, thank you. So, and now
Go
we
on,
have the
please.
okay, thank you. How does identity, belonging, and gender in a divided world get restored in our young ones, especially in I picked as an example the war-torn zone. and unsteady regions, which can be unsteady. A lot of homes are unsteady. Schools are unsteady. For not the schools are steady for every child. And the thing is, when you make the home unsteady for a child, you yourself, you become very unsteady. If you make a school unsteady for one child or two children or a section of children, the other children can never have stability either. So it is good to just do it for everyone. So dignity in a war-torn zone and unstable region. In war-torn zones and unstable regions, identity and belonging are often stripped. They're often stripped away by violence, displacement, and fear. Fear. The children are so afraid. Yet, even in the rubble of broken systems, dignity must still remain, and dignity must be non-negotiable. We must not negotiate our children's dignity for anything else. So One Global Movement brings dignity-centered tools for identity affirmation, reminding children, women, and young people that they are more than victims of circumstances. They are voices of resilience and builders of peace. And how do we do this? You can't just tell the child that, oh no, you belong, you are powerful, you're this. We got to give them something substantial that they will anchor themselves on, like the programs that we have. You cannot want to help a child, you just give him or her a plate of food today without teaching that child or putting something in place that they can help themselves. That's why we have this 5 Chicks per Child program. We have business programs. If they want to start a little business, maybe during vacation, that they have the long holiday, they have at least something to start with, so that alone will give them that power that they belong. Have you ever just sit at home as a mother and a father, and you don't even know where the next meal is going to come from for your children and your family? Do you even have stability? Your mind is racing, especially the mother. The child is going to cry. And if you don't have anything to give that child, then how do you affirm that child's identity? How do you affirm his or her belonging? We are talking about substance, something tangible, something that begins from the heart and the soul, not just a physical thing. So it is very important that we do this. So even in the silence of war, every child deserves to be heard. That's why the other topic, that the theme that we treated last time, we said, let us place a book in every child's hand, even in war-torn zone. That book might be an exit or an escape from violence for that child. So that's the kind of thing that we are talking, and we are inviting everyone to write a book. Write a book. If you don't write it for adult, write it for your child, for your home, for your family. You don't have to write it for money. And that's what we are doing here in One Global Movement. Pretty soon the books will come out. And you guys will want to go there and support us to launch it, because we want these books to get into the hands of children that don't have access. Those are the kind of things that we are talking about. So even in the ashes of instability, every woman deserves to stand whole and deserves to be heard. And so I also picked the example of social media. In today's digital age, social media is not just a platform. No, it is a global stage for identity. It is. And belonging and voice. This is what we are using right here. We are talking. So when used with compassion, it connects war-torn villages to global citizenship, turning isolation into solidarity. Imagine that if in a war-torn zone, let's say for some reason they have electricity, which sometimes they do, and then they have access to the internet, and they stumble on One Global Movement and they hear this message. Do you know that these children, from the onset, they will be glued to it? And that is why here we don't play. We don't play because we know that we are doing this for these young minds. So One Global Movement calls us to harness these tools, not for division, but for dignity, creating digital spaces where identity is affirmed, voices are amplified, and belonging is extended across borders, not just only within our villages or communities. And this is so true. If you do it, I do it. Sister Yvonne does it, Sister Esther does it, all of us will do it, then we must have done something great. But it begins with just one, that little one like that, you know. So that's the foundation. And we must do it. The world is in this place where if we don't step in to do something, then we don't even love ourselves or love our own children. Because we are creating a place where the children will suffer later on when we are gone. So why don't we come together and do this? So global citizenship begins when we realize that a child's cry in one corner of the world is humanity's responsibility everywhere. We cannot say, oh, my children are okay. Oh, my children are rich. Oh, I'm rich. Oh, this, I that. No, your child is not living on an island. Even if they're living on an island, the vibration that we emit.
Sorry, yeah, but you're right.
Wait, let me mute you, Esther. Okay, good. So the vibration that we emit into the atmosphere, the way God created, is going to affect somebody. That's why when you do something, you think you're hiding it from your children. Why is it that those children repeat those things? Because the vibration.
It is on the right.
You're gonna need the
okay. The vibration goes. It transmits like sound waves, and it is true. So why is it that you are here? Why is it that we just come together? Why? For the same purpose. That's exactly what we are talking about here. So across nations, classrooms, and communities, too many are made to feel invisible. I was in a place, as an example, not complaining, but I thank God that I was there because it made me to build resilience. You know,
Yes,
they make you invisible just for picking on you. And those that even do it, sometimes they say, why are you doing that? I don't know, because they don't know. Because if they know, they would not be doing it, you know. So children silenced by bullying or hunger, for instance. Think about that. When you're hungry, do you even have the energy to talk? Do you know that there are some people that have gone for 2 days without food?
absolutely.
Okay. Bullying. When you bully a child, what happens? Their identity saps. It goes down. Even as parents, sometimes we bully our own children into submission because we think that we own those children. Like you always say, we are not the owners of those children. We are stewards of these children. And now women are denied dignity because of cultural, social, or economic barriers. Education. That's why when we focus on women, we talk about education, because I am a typical example. So these crises of identity and belonging fractures lives in ways that sometimes it's so hard to repair. Sometimes it causes mental illness that they really don't come back to their normal. You know, so identity becomes a battle instead of a celebration. You know? Belonging becomes conditional instead of unconditional. Because belonging should never be unconditional. It should be it should be very conditional and so certain for every child. Gender becomes a weapon instead of a gift. Can you imagine that?
I know.
Okay. You cannot uplift humanity while silencing its children's voices. No. Wholeness is the courage to be, and belonging is the power to be accepted. We accept you as you are. It's like we see somebody is just walking. They're walking on the walking tray. All of a sudden, they're peeing on themselves, for instance. I'm choosing the worst case scenario. Instead of us looking for ways to see how we can help this person, we say, ew, look at a door like this, because I've seen it here. You don't have to go touch that person with your bare hands because you don't want to be infected. But you have to be that good Samaritan to say, you know what, I'm going to call 911 right now. Or if the place where there's no 911, get to your knees and do something, you know? So it is very, very important that we do that. So the One Global Movement vision is a world whole and heard. A world where every child is whole and heard. And so the vision is not only to eradicate hunger, poverty, and illiteracy per se, but it is part of it, but it is to restore dignity, identity, equality, and compassion in every child. And you can't do that without you having it. I can't be
I
doing
just
it without me having it. Okay, go ahead, sister.
I just want to say, as you're talking on that now, it's making it clear that we're not just tolerating people. They're another human being. We're seeing them. It's
Uh-huh.
different. It's different when you validate somebody and when you just tolerate them, like you were talking about the person who's having a different experience than we would have because we're at a different mind space, right? There is something that you can do. It's even to ask a question, are you okay? Shall we call somebody or find the nearest place if they need to, because you never know why that's happening. They could just be unhealthy and just need a washroom, but they don't even have the mindset to do that. And there are places that, will let you, like a lot of those coffee shops or whatever, they just need to probably go and clean them. You know what I mean? Don't
Yep.
just act as this is not a human being. I mean, some people would respond to an animal better than they would respond to their own fellow human being. And I'm
Oh,
not
yes.
saying that, you know, don't just tolerate people, you know,
Yep.
listen, as you said, make them dignity. That's that's what's needed for everybody. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter whether you're supposedly up there or down there. It's just another human being,
Thing.
you know.
Yes. Yes. And the thing that we fail to understand is when you treat people with dignity, love, and respect, it comes to you. And you already
Yeah.
feel so happy. You are elevated and you glow. But when you take that time to strain yourself to not recognize somebody, to exclude somebody, to cancel somebody, and throw words at people, it affects you as well.
It
Because
does.
like I would take, not that I'm the best person in the world, but I try every day. When I think about just carrying those watermelons and be giving to people, I'm already happy. I'm already happy.
Oh, I
You see,
know.
when we talk about helping people, I have been helped a lot of times. One of my worst times was when I went poo poo on myself at the job. Why? I was in a shock. My
Oh,
brother, somebody called me and said my little brother passed, and that's
oh.
how I fell. The pee and the poop, everything was just coming. I did not know where I was, and
There you go.
so. But then the people that I work with, they were so good. Even those that were not were trying to exclude me from things, they were those that were helping me. Okay, and I found myself with the government car at home. My car then remained at the job for a
Mm,
long time before then I went back for it. You see, anything can happen. Think about tomorrow. We
you
never
do.
know. We don't
Never.
know what our tomorrows hold. We
We
don't
don't.
know, but we know who holds tomorrow. And so when we are doing things, we think about other people. Let's not, what is that one thing in somebody or in a child that you can pick up and elevate them? One thing out of the so many wrong things or bad things. What is that one thing that we can do? So this is what we are talking about, because that one thing can build and cover up for all the multitude of bad things. And it's the same thing
Mhm.
to each and every one of us here. So to be holy is to be fully sin. This is what our children want, is to be fully seen. Like my son sometimes, he said, Mommy, are you even listening? Okay. I will put the book away. Don't write down. So I can pay attention. So these things, I was so guilty of, I just pay attention now for that. So wholeness begins when a child's laughter is not silenced by hunger. And being heard begins when a woman's voice is no longer drowned by inequality. Hunger for education, hunger for food, hunger to extend a hand, a helping hand. It's not just hunger, the physical hunger to filter the words that come through your ears, hunger to make sure that I associate myself with people that are of like-mindedness, people that are positive, people that are good, people that don't laugh at other people that will accept me the way I am. Very, very important. So when this vision becomes reality, children learn without shame.
Yes.
Children know that, I fail, but I tried. and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to fail my way until I succeed. You see? So this is very, very important. And and then youth lead. The youth, young people will lead without fear, without shame, and women will rise without barriers, without saying, "Hey, you are a woman." Like they say sometimes in my culture, "Oh, you sit down and pee, I stand up," as if that makes a difference. No, we are all human. God created us that way, you know. So
Yes, yeah.
so the power of compassion and identity and belonging. Compassion is the heartbeat of one global movement mission, as we know. It transforms walls into bridges and strangers into a family. We all began as a stranger from our old company. Look at us here now. We are
Yes,
a global family. And
yes.
that's why we keep coming here together to support one
Mhm.
another. Not because
Yeah,
Sister and I are here. We just begging every day and asking that you guys come on stage here too. Okay.
yeah.
It's not just us here, because this stage belongs to all. The children deserve to hear from all of us, even though you are also contributing in the chat, which is so good too. So you can
Yes,
speak in your dialect here. You can, the world is a global village where there has to be somebody that is going to understand what you are talking about.
absolutely.
Compassion
Absolutely.
listens without judgment. Compassion will really listen without judging. Oh no, you could have, you should have, blaming somebody. And then compassion creates safe spaces.
It does.
Compassion teaches communities to trade stigma for understanding. But do you realize that people that stigmatize others, they have the worst stigmas? And so they think that in stigmatizing another person, then they
Yeah.
will be better, they worsen their situation.
Yes.
Compassion is not an act of pity. No, you don't.
No. No.
It
No.
is the recognition that your story is tied to mine.
Yes.
Your story is my story. It
Yes.
might be different, but a story is a story, just like you said at the beginning.
It's an act of empathy. That's what it is.
Yes, an
Right?
act,
Yeah.
you heard her, an act of
Yes.
empathy.
Empathy.
So
That's
your
what it
pain is my responsibility, and your
is.
joy is humanity's reward. When you're happy, happiness doesn't mean that you don't have problem. You
It
say,
does not.
despite this problem, I'm still gonna be happy. And that when
Yes.
you give yourself that talk, guess what? You're still gonna be happy, because when something happens, it happens. You just have to
Yes.
find solutions, but make yourself always find ways to be happy. Very, very important. So compassion teaches communities to really trade that stigma. And let us teach
Mhm.
our children, trade the stigma for understanding. Understand why that person is in that situation, not just stigmatizing that person. Oh, they are like that. Or this is this group of people that speak like this. We all speak with accents. We all speak differently because we were created differently with different languages. All right. And so we should embrace that, because when you embrace it, you are learning to be a good global citizen, so that
Amen.
wherever you go in the world, you are accepted, you belong, instead of oh no, I don't know how to speak, I'm not going to be among those people. No, that's not the way the world operates, and that's not the way it was created. So through compassion, we declare here in One Global Movement, you are not other, you are us.
Amen.
Other, you
Yes.
are us. You matter. The children matter. They matter a lot, and they
Yes.
matter all the time. So I'm just going to give examples of a story. A girl in a rural village once told she was too small, too small to matter. And she stood before her class and said, "When I was told my voice matters, I started believing my dreams matter too." You see that?
Yes.
I was told that no, you will never amount to anything by a biological father. My grandmother said, nope, you come from royalty. But
There you
first
go.
of all, you come from the royalty of Almighty God, that you were born smart, that you have greatness within you, and that you were born for a purpose, that you will transform the world. And keep saying that. I say it a million times, even a song I would dance, and then there'll be me, I'll still do it again. And so it's that determination that is with me since then. And so we have to use our voices to talk to ourselves in such a way that nobody can silence it. but not in a disrespectful manner. You talking to yourself, because your first line of defense or your first open door is you. You have to open your heart and your mind to the great things that we've been created with. So another example is a mother silenced by poverty.
Yeah.
And she discovered power in one global movement, because there are so many out there now. They discovered power in one actually came home here to visit to see what we are doing. And she's not in unpassive, and she says she wants to come to talk to the show about financial literacy.
There you go.
This this mother found power in one global movements group. For the first time, my gender was not a barrier, but my badge of resilience. That's what she said. And when one voice is heard, 1,000 chains are broken. When one life is made whole, and large, a community is reborn. This is very important. So we cannot even conclude without a call to action, right? So one global movement call to action. One global movement is calling every heart to action. Every heart. Do you have children, biological or non-biological? Do you have children in your community? Were you born by a woman? A woman is God's first God, human, created, because everything passed through the mother. Yes, and nobody can say here that, oh no, I don't have children, because we all do. If you don't have a child, it means you're not doing well in your community, because all the children in our communities belong to everyone, because it takes a whole village to love, raise, and educate a child. And I am a product of that village. Without that village, I would not be here today. All right. So this is very important. That's why we have to pass this message onto the world. And I hear you you talk about your family when they were liaising with this Mrs. Who. You guys were exchanging love and gift and doing things together as a family. And
of course,
this is a good example. One will say, but my color is it, your color is that? No, they never saw color. They saw by the humanity in others. And so that's very important. So to action. One global movement calls every heart to action. Champion inclusion. Make sure that every child is included. Celebrate diversity of identity and gender as strength, not a shame. Gender as a strength, not a shame. Invest in voices. Invest in voices. Build platforms where children, women, and youth influence culture and policy. We say start from your living room. You don't have to go outside the building. Make sure that you liaise with the parents and you tell them what you're doing. You write it on paper, and the government knows, so that you're also covered and the children are covered and protected. And then you can start a reading program. Just do it once a week for a start. Do it for 25 minutes, 15 minutes, because it starts small. And then you gradually build resilience and build tolerance in children, because nowadays we are so intolerant. We click and go. So we want to build that, because if we do it too long, they won't like it, right? They will not pay attention and they will not understand.
That is true. Yes.
Let's invest in their voices. Can you imagine? You just do that a reading program. A child start reading a book. They say, "Wow, I can read." They're reading in front of other children. That instills in that child her or his identity.
It's so empowering, sister. It's so empowering to be able to do that, because that's one thing that you've mastered. And this is what builds humanity, one thing on top of another, right? I can do that. I can do that. It's amazing how opening up a book, that's why Malala, I was so one child, one book, one teacher, one pen. Yes. She said a powerful thing when she said that it can never, ever be quite fully unpacked. Because it's so simple sounding. One.
There you go. Yes. So education for empathy. Literacy must include not only words, but also humanity. Absolutely. You are teaching these brilliant young minds that are building the future. And in that future, we are included. Can you tell me who are the innovators? Isn't it these young minds?
They have to be.
Can you tell me the books that we are reading, or the monuments and structures that we are mounting? Can you tell me who are the architects of all of these things? They are the young minds. So, and then we can build systems of belonging, fight hunger, poverty, and illiteracy that rob dignity and silence truth, and do it authentically and organically. Please do that. So, belonging is not given by permission. Belonging is built by compassion, courage, and community. So, what is the future for OGM? What future does One Global Movement envision for our young people? Let us picture a world where no child questions if they are enough. Let's do that. Then schools. Let us also look at a future where schools become sanctuaries of safety and discovery.
Yes.
And let us key. And then women's voices are celebrated, not silenced. They shouldn't have to be speaking in whispers, because what a woman does, the children copy first before the man. So let's do that. And let us try to educate ourselves against some of the cultures that are still really promoting that against women, And nations, let us envision a world where nations measure their progress not by wealth alone, not by power alone, not by ego alone, but by compassion, love, and equity. So the future belongs to the whole and the herd, because only then does humanity walk in its full light. So thank you so much for this topic.
Sister, we didn't mention, well, we did mention technology a little bit, but it's actually the only way we all as human beings are going to survive, because we will never outthink or acknowledge the machines, right? We'll never do that. So we have to look to one another for the good ideas and not be ego driven, and just recognize that it's us and them, it's us and the machines. We can't pretend that we will be able to do what they do, because the knowledge and things that they can hold and manipulate, we can't do it, right?
No,
but the things that make us human, that makes us look out for one another, we're going to have to amplify those things, right? The caring, the validating of one another, the ego has to be removed, right?
Yes.
Nobody's going to be better than anybody, because we won't survive, because we will leave our humanity in the hands of machines. That's not a good thing. We have to maintain the humanity where it belongs, in our hands, in our minds, in our treatment of one another. I'm watching that and I'm saying, this is a very layered topic, because what we're talking about here is this sense of belonging to one another, right? Because we're never going to be the machines, and we don't want to be that, and they can't be us, right? How we treat one another is up to us, right? They will never have the experience we have as humanity, right? And so this compassion that we're talking about, this empathy, they can't have that. That's our thing to do. And we better know that and hold on to that and amplify that, right?
Yes.
Starting with ourselves, our children, and the globe.
Yes.
We're one family. That's what we are.
Yes. And we need to constantly remind ourselves, these machines are just tools.
That's what they are.
They are tools to help. That's what they are, So let us not just use them. And we're now in the world where things are constantly changing, especially, as you say, the machines. And who are those putting the information in those machines?
Exactly.
Are you checking them out before you use it, or let your child use it?
Exactly, sister.
But know that you have to build the humanity or humanness, that foundation in yourself and your children, before you even try to let your children be utilizing those things. This is very, very important.
It is.
Very important. Let us not just
blindly go along with everything.
Everything. Just go. You have to question things, but if you know that your questioning might jeopardize your safety or something, Withdraw your child. It's okay to withdraw your child and let the child do the right thing. Because if you let your child continue to do the wrong thing, then you're building a future where that child is going to struggle. Withdraw your child. Like I'll give an example during the COVID-19. A lot of kids could not study where mental illness really skyrocketed because they could not study, especially when you're doing STEM. It is so hard for you to just study online.
Oh,
And
yes,
my
yes.
son was affected. He could
course.
not take it. And he had to just not do it for 1 year. I said, that's good. Rather than for you to get sick, stay.
course.
You know who you are, you know who
Yep.
you are, you know your
That's right.
purpose. Don't just do what you're doing at home and doing your little jobs here. You will still go and do it when things become normal. And that's
Walk
exactly what
your own journey. Walk your own
walk
journey.
your own journey. There you go. There you go. Walk your own journey. And let us not pressurize our children, because a lot of the things that we pressurize them, copy this, copy the Hollywood, those things will fall. And when they fall, that child will fall with them. Walk
Exactly.
your own journey, just like Sister said. And when you walk your own journey, you'll be so happy that you did. And let us
Absolutely.
really help
Absolutely.
our children to do so. But in doing so, we must give our children stability, land, and legacy. Let your children, instead of buying luxurious cars, buy land and plant. Plant
Yes.
seeds of prosperity.
Yes.
Whether
Yes.
they are trees of prosperity, whether they are flowers of prosperity,
Whatever.
that
Yes.
is what you're building. Because if you don't, you just keep talking to the child, or you don't leave behind an inheritance and train that child how to uh, to uh, to nurture that inheritance, then you have built and you have given birth to a child that is going to fail. And failure means a lot of things: mental illness, you're being laughed at, you can't resolve issues, all of those things. Build
Yes.
that foundation. What I'm telling you, that's the way that my grandmother, my mom, is a hard worker. Her tears, all she did the best that she can do, and her work was buried in her tears. She doesn't know how to talk. Even right now, she can. If you talk too much, she will just cry. You know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
my grandmother trained me. Land and legacy is very, very important. Very, very important. So, thank you so much for listening. Wholeness is dignity. Okay,
Yes.
wholeness is
Yes.
dignity. Is being
And
heard. Is being heard is justice. Ah, come on now. Who's that?
we are encouraged to build that safe space, sister. Safe space for the children so
Yep.
that they can blossom and go into their destiny. Because let's not forget, as you said, we came with greatness and they have that, but they need the foundation, right?
Yes, they do.
They
They
need
do.
the foundation.
So thank you
Oh,
so
she was,
much. And our
she was,
audience, thank you, wonderful audience.
thank you.
Esther,
Yes, she was.
Esther, if you are hearing us, if you need to say something, you go ahead and say it. Okay.
Exactly. She
Yes.
was struggling to get her background. Is that what she was doing? Good for her.
Don't worry, you'll get the background later. Changes to this one. So we have our brother from the sunny Pretoria, Brother Levi. Thank you so much, sir, for putting your heart and soul into supporting children and women here. We highly appreciate you. And we have Gutam Paul. Thank you so much, sir, as well, for your support and your love for children. And sister, what can I say? We thank God that God brought us together for a reason.
Yes, indeed.
That's why
Thank
we
you.
do what we're
Yes.
doing. So thank you so much. And we have this is our Facebook page, please. We always really want to build it up, and we need all of us hands on deck. And when you go to our Facebook page, they says give One Global Movement stars, please. That is where we can begin. Just click on it. You can give 10 cents. You can give $1. However your heart tells you. We want to start doing something, not just sitting, because sometimes we are held back by resources. Although I am using my personal resources because I have to start something, you know. So, but we need that. We have to keep supporting all the time so that we can do something. So if you go there, just click on the stars and do whatever you can do. Please, thank you. And please join us in discussion of today's topic, whole and heard, navigating identity, belonging, and gender with compassion. And if you don't have anything to contribute, just hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag speak with heart, hashtag just hashtag something that is going to hit those algorithms so that One Global Movement can keep reaching every child in the world.
Amen.
And thank you so much to our managing director, John. Thank you for the great work that you're doing. And we are glad to have you here as always. Thank you. And Sir Abdul Sattar, thank you so much, sir, for your presence, your love, and support. We appreciate you. Thanks to Sir Suresh Kumar. Thank you, sir, for your support for women, children, and young people. And thank you so much, MD Azazo. We appreciate your presence here today. And if you've forgotten to hit the like button, please do so. That goes a long way as well. So hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. Thank you. And let's go down here. Okay. Nancy, Queen Nancy is here. Thank you so much, Nancy. I highly appreciate you for your support here in the chat and off stage. Thank you so much, sister. And just remember too, for those of you who are with ambassadors, One Global Movement ambassadors at home, if they need to record anything, that is very wonderful. They can record that and send. Even if they record just their voice or their voices, they can record that and send. And then, yes, because they are the faces of One Global Movement, or they are the face of One Global Movement here. So very important. Because I know that some of them they just want to come on here and speak. So, but they are in school. If they have the opportunity,
so if the time doesn't work, yeah.
Or they are reading. It can be anything. They're just reading, and then they're reading a book. They read it. That alone will inspire other children to read too.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be for long. Just read. They're reading this, or they're trying to solve a problem. Like one of the ambassadors was teaching me, recorded, and she taught me and sent it to me. Yes.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. And when I post that, people are always on it, which is very good. Yeah.
And people love good things, sister. They love good things. They just don't get enough of it, but they love good things.
Yes. And we have to promote that.
Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you so much for putting the StreamYard link. If you need to use StreamYard, there you go. And they will send $10 to One Global Movement. And you can help a child out there. Thank you. And we have Wario. How are you, sir? If you're new here, you're welcome to this family here, One Global Movement family. Thank you so much for being here today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you. John said, okay, I am back again. Had to rehearse. Wow.
He's in rehearsal, so he's going back and forth. Yeah.
Okay, John, that's okay. Thank you so much. Keep it up. We need to watch you on stage.
Yeah, we're glad you have work, John. That's good.
Yeah, that's very good. Tina, how are you, sister? Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. And hashtag JJB Teen Man, hashtag Big Heart, hashtag I am the Teen Man, hashtag Heart for Humanity, hashtag Ashmufare, hashtag Big Heart 2, hashtag One Global Movement, double hashtag Speak with Heart.
Amen.
And listen with heart and without judgment, but with compassion, which is love in action. Hashtag love in action. There we go. Not talking about it. Action speaks louder than words.
It does. It does.
Goldie Kerr, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining us here today. We appreciate your love for children and young people worldwide. And Levi says, greetings to all members of hashtag OGM Speak with Heart. There we go. Thank you.
Yes.
And we have our brother, Shriji Jana. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining us from your end. Our love to you and your family. Thank you. And let's go here. Did I miss any? Okay, we have our beautiful sister, Clover Kelly. How are you? Thank you so much, and good afternoon to you as well. We appreciate you for being with us here today and for loving our children. Thank you. And let's go here. If I miss anybody, let me know.
No, you have not.
Hello, Akario. How are you? Hopefully, I pronounce your name well. Otherwise, I'll do better next time. Thank you so much for joining us here today. If you're new, do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell and share with other people so that we can get to all the children in the world. It begins from home and our communities. Thank you.
Yes, it does. So at this point, before you go any further, I think John is okay. When you read that, sister, John is saying that today is Melanie's birthday, but we weren't aware of that, so we can give her a little, a little Melanie Marcana. We can give her a little happy birthday because I didn't know that.
Okay. We can sing a little song in a little bit.
Sure we can.
It's nice to see some different names here. Please keep coming and join our regulars for hashtag One Global Movement. Thank you, John. That's the managing director inviting everyone here and also asking us to share, and spread the message out so that we can reach every child in the world. And he says, Mel Macano is not here today. She is traveling and enjoying her birthday today. Happy birthday,
Good for you, Melanie.
Happy birthday to
you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear
Melanie.
Happy birthday to you.
Great day, Melanie.
Enjoy. Hello, Sir Ashakuma. Thank you so much, sir, for being a pillar here in One Global Movement. For the children, we appreciate your presence as always.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know, John. Thank you so much. That's why you're managing director.
Exactly.
Everyone, right?
Exactly.
And please, as a reminder from our brother, let us stop mentioning that name. We have now passed that era. We are looking forward to seeing the new vehicle. Please, let's not mention that the old name of the company, so that let's gather our momentum and waiting for the new name so that we all can jump on it. Okay? Thank you so much, Brother Lake. I am going to say it again, although some seem to ignore me or perhaps just don't have good command of English. Please don't type the name of the old company. It is closed now, and please stop praising. Stop praising and saying the name. Okay. Please let us remember that and remind our other founders, or if I may call it that way, and or the family not to be mentioning the old name anymore, please. Thank you, John. Happy birthday to Mel from all of us here on OGM. We wish you a wonderfully fun day and many, many more. Yes. Thank you. John, you're always hashtag educate.
Yeah, girls. Don't forget the boys.
Don't forget boys. Hashtag One Global Movement. Hashtag educate young girls. Hashtag don't forget boys. Yes, we're placing emphasis on the girls. You protect your sister a lot than you protect your brother, right? That's the understanding. Thank you, John. Hello, Peruri. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining us from that end. We appreciate your presence here. And come again and bring somebody with you as well. Thank you.
Amen.
And Nancy says, families, just a reminder, don't forget to start with the smallest way of helping our children by pressing the big thumbs up. Subscribe if not yet done. Turn on the notification bell and share. Hashtag education to all young girls and boys. Okay, now we have
Ah, John. Oh,
Hashtag
this is Levi. Levi's doing it
Youth
now.
for Next Generations. Hashtag Power to the
To the
Nation. You
nation.
always have
Nice.
very powerful hashtag, Brother Levy.
Yes,
Thank
they
you so
are.
much for putting
They
them
say a
there
lot.
and keep
Yeah.
maintaining those so that it would keep hitting those algorithms and they're going to know that we are here. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
yes. Oh, yes.
And wonderful topic today from the elites hashtag One Global Movement. We are all elites here because
Yes, we are.
while you're
Thank you.
there, that's why we're here. So we listen to both parts and it makes it more powerful. Thank you.
Thank you, Levi.
And there are two folks on here abusing our simple guidelines, and I have timed them out and removed their posts. I have asked them both many times in other lives to stop, but they don't. They don't. Okay, no problem, John. Thank you so much. You know what to do already, so thank you. So again, and remember, we don't type the name of our close company and praise it, or Ash Mufaris as being a god. Ash will tell us the name of our new vehicle or company when he is ready. Certainly, yes. Thank you,
Mhm.
John. And we have Sir Ojala. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining us here today. We appreciate you. And we have Rajat Sapra. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for being with us here today. We highly appreciate your presence and your support for children. And again, this is our Facebook page. We need people to go there where it says, look closely, where it says, give One Global Movement stars. You click on that and you can do what your heart tells you. You're not being forced to do, you're not pushed to do it. But if we are supporting children, we need to start doing it with, we need to do it with results. We need to do it with what can I say? Really results
Consistency, sister.
and real results that can
Yes,
manifest in these children.
exactly. Yeah, we have to keep at it. It's not just a one-time thing. It's
Yes,
consistency. It's focus, right?
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And we have Parbat Singh. How are you, sir? If you're new here, you're welcome into this global family. We highly appreciate you for being here today. And thank you so much. Esther, if you are there and you have something to say a word or two and we close. But if you don't hear us, we still thank you for being here today. We saw your beautiful face today and we are happy. And we know
Yes,
that
we
things
are.
are moving on well because she was finding some challenges with her computer to joining a StreamYard. Okay, sister,
Yes.
I will let you do
She
your
has she has something in the chat, in the private chat, and so we know that, yeah, the mic is not working. Sorry. That's
um,
okay, sister. Next
okay.
time. So, where there's a will, there's a way. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's a short closing, and here is the truth I want to leave all of us with today, right? When people are heard, they become whole.
Mm-hmm.
And when we make space for wholeness, humanity, as I said, all of humanity will thrive because, as you said, we won't see the other person as other. We see us as us. That is what we're striving to get to. And I suggest we do it very quickly because we're going to have the technology to contend with and people who are not on the same page as we are. So we need the ones who are going to get the message that we are one.
Mm-hmm.
What is your Ubuntu? Because you are, what is it?
Yes, Ubuntu. You are because I am.
Because I
I
am.
am because you are. And Brother
Yes.
Levi would know this very well too because he knows, because that's the guiding principle of humanity. And
It
I was
is.
taught for that. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sister.
Thank you
Thank
so much. Thank you for that beautiful closing. Thank you
you.
guys so much. And we will see you again on Friday. Bring one, bring two, and let
Yes.
us come here and keep doing what God has appointed, ordained us to do for our children. We love you all. Until Friday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Ah,
This was beautiful.
these are some really, really lovely.